One of the institutions the public doesn't seem to trust so much these days is the media, and who could blame them? I'm going to play you this clip from MSNBC. There's many others like it. Now, these hosts today are seemingly blaming Trump for his own second assassination attempt, or whatever you want to call it, at the golf course today. Have a look.
He's going to reach out to his supporters and say, let's take this down. We do not know, again, the source of any gunshot or gunshots. We don't know who's responsible for this. The whole thing has yet to be 100% confirmed from start to finish how this all played out. But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric, toning down the violence?
Alex, we've heard similar sentiments. I played some of them just previously from NBC, CNN, ABC also have commentary that seems to be blaming the victim. How is this happening?
Well, it's not a surprise, to be honest. And I think they're doing it on purpose to try to encourage more people to take shots at Donald Trump. If you look at this guy, Ruth, when he was arrested, he seemed almost happy because the last person that shot Donald Trump, the entire media has memory hold it and basically stopped talking about it during the debate. No, neither candidate was questioned about the assassination attempt. So it just shows you that any attempt on Donald Trump's life is something that the media will probably cheerlead. And if it's something bad does happen, they're not going to even cover it. So we don't even get the truth. So our media is terrible here. The mainstream media, it's just, you can't really trust them whatsoever.
Well, you've got activist journalists there who are allowing really their opinions to masquerade as news. If you're an opinion show like this, then by all means, give your opinion. But if you're pretending to be a newscaster who's absolutely unbiased and bringing us all the news in a fair and balanced fashion, well, you can't let your own politics interfere with that. And I think they let their own politics interfere with that every single day. You mentioned the debate, and one of the things that was talked about during the Harris-Trump debate was this notion of women having late-term abortions right up to possibly the birth of the child, or post certainly the point where the child would be viable outside the womb. Kamala dismissed this talk as insulting.
Nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America.
But even lefty outlet The Atlantic has interviewed a doctor who performs exactly that sort of procedure, a man called Warren Hearn, who insists a baby is a fetus until it is born alive, who calls pro-life activists fascists and performs abortions for women whose pregnancies are over 32 weeks. That's around 1 month before the pregnancy is considered full term and weeks after a fetus is considered viable. He operates in Colorado, where there are no gestational limits on abortion. And Alex, Colorado is hardly the only state with no gestational limits. So again, another issue that wasn't picked up by the ABC moderators when we know abortion is such a huge issue in this election.
Well, abortion's a very huge issue, and there's a reason why they have to lie about this, because even people that are pro-choice believe there should be a term limit of when a person can have an abortion. Most people meet in the middle that should be, done within the first trimester, some people the second trimester, but about everybody would agree that the third trimester is way too far to have an abortion. So they have to lie and say that this isn't happening when we have the governor of Virginia, Governor Northam, saying that this does happen and that they will keep the baby comfortable while the parent decides whether or not to euthanize a baby. So this is not a right-wing conspiracy. This is something that's real and that even people that are pro-choice are against. So that's why they have to lie.
You're so right. This is a far more nuanced debate than the media give credit for. And there's been so much polling in the US on this. And a clear majority, even those who are pro-choice in the first trimester, are against abortion for the second and certainly the third trimester. There is so much information and data on that, and it's never really discussed. It's either you're either for or against, and there's nothing in between. Now, Kamala Harris laughed when Donald Trump claimed migrants in Ohio were eating pet dogs and cats. But now we've got New York City and federal park authorities saying they need to beef up resources near Jamaica Bay in Queens to ward off people torturing and killing animals. The New York Post revealed animal sacrifices are surging in the area, with at least 8 animals, including pigs, dogs and rats, found dead or maimed since late July. And Alex, we've got former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy announcing he's going to travel to Springfield, Ohio this week to speak with the locals there, hear their concerns. They've town of less than 60,000 people who've had 20,000 migrants from Haiti deposited into their town, causing all sorts of issues. No one was speaking about Springfield and towns like it before the debate and Trump's comments about they're eating the pets. And now it's become a focal point.
Well, it is happening, Rita. I mean, there's no lie about it, because we're mixing different cultures. And in Haiti, you know, they do have food issues, and it's more likely where they would eat a dog or cat. And you know, I think that Trump protecting the cats is what gave him an extra life today on that golf course. Those cats granted him with an extra 9 lives because he saved their lives. But let's be real, you know, not all Haitians are eating pets, but it is happening. I mean, it is actually happening. There's police reports of people complaining about it, yet David Murder in the debate wants to say that the city manager says it's not an issue. If one cat gets eaten, in my opinion, it's an issue. So this is where we're at, is that people's culture are not necessarily mixing with the American culture that we currently have. And there's other foreign countries where they eat cats and dogs, where it's not taboo. But here in America, it is taboo. And I think to culturally acclimate, they have to stop eating the cats and dogs.
But I think it's so much more than that. I mean, whether that's happening or not is really almost not the issue. It's the fact that this unchecked migration, illegal and legal, and the impact it's having on these little towns that have kind of been forgotten. And by that comment being made and the reaction to it, it's actually bringing attention to towns like Springfield, Ohio, and those people are finally being heard, getting some media coverage. So it's crazy how it works. It might actually be one of the more effective things that comes out of that debate. Alex Stein, always a pleasure, and you're looking very Trump-esque today with that outfit. I don't know if you intended for that to happen, but you pulled it off.
Well, 100%, Rita. I'm supporting my guy, Donald Trump, with the red tie. You know it. And they're 0 for 2. Gosh, I hope they stop trying to kill our president. It's very scary, Rita.